Hi, I'm Matty, and I have been missing in action, so that's basically what this is. I filmed one of these originally when I thought I was going to be making a comeback into the YouTube universe at the beginning of the year once I got a little bit more settled. However, that didn't happen, as we can see. We've had a few different sparks of creativity over the past, God, almost a year now since the last time I posted a video. But yes, so context. The last 9 months has been a bit of a whirlwind. So when I officially disappeared off of the face of the earth for you friends, for all of you nerds, my apartment flooded. This space that you see, actually where I'm sitting currently, is where the sky opened up in my living room. It was a nightmare at the end of the year. So in October of 2024, I found out that I was going to be starting a new job in December. It was literally the weekend that was my last week at my old job. And that Saturday, I had to go into the office. Saturday before Thanksgiving, I had to go into the office, and there was something wrong. In my gut, I knew that something was wrong and that I shouldn't have gone into work. But I was trying to, leave on good standings and things like that. But yeah, I came home within an hour of me actually being at work to my apartment flooded. There was a hole in my ceiling. The poor core of the Explorer's crate was right underneath it because last September, last fall, was abnormally warm for it being fall. So we had kept her downstairs where it's a little bit cooler. And she was a sopping wet doggy, and she was miserable, and it was the worst thing. So from there, in that flood, I lost all of my electronics, everything except my phone, because my phone was on my person. So my laptop, my iPad, my, there's so much stuff. My reading journal got damaged because my desk is where the TV used to be, and that also had a small hole in it. And I lost over 50 books in that flood. That tub actually is still full of books that are water damaged that it's heavy and I haven't thrown it away. I'm horrible about things. So we've been dealing with that, dealing with those issues. Even still, we're still fighting with insurances to pay what they're supposed to pay. Not me, but the landlord and the insurance, and that is a whole other issue that I just don't want to get into. So if you have more questions or haven't heard me vent in a few different places, ask your questions in the comments. Get renter's insurance if you don't have it, fam. Highly recommend it because it saved my ass, and $5,000 worth of crap was replaced within 2 months, I think. So January to April, I was replacing books, getting books that I was more interested in, doing a whole haul of my TBR. So that was fall of 2024. 2025 winter into 2025, I started my new job. Yay! I'm finally out of the place that gave me the most anxiety, to the point where it was if I wrecked my car, I wouldn't have to go into work. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to die. I don't want anything like that. It was just, I did not want to go into work, and I would come up with solutions as to, if I don't do this, then I don't have to go. You know what I mean? My therapist said, that's not healthy. I said, I know it's not healthy, but I don't know what else to do. So thankfully, though at the current state of affairs, being a government employee is kind of weird, but I got hired before we knew the election results and what happened in the United States, but we're not going to discuss that. I keep my work and home life very separate as much as possible, but I'm off on the weekends, which is great for, having a 16-year-old now. Literally today, September 8th, is my child's 16th birthday. Crazy. I've almost raised an entire human being, and he is almost ready to go out into the world. So having the ability to be able to go out on the weekends whenever he actually starts learning how to drive, we've got a few parameters to actually get there, so it's not going to happen anytime soon or anything like that. But, it's happening. But starting at a new job where it's basically the same thing, slightly different. Call centers are pretty much the same. You're still talking to people, you're still doing all of that. However, there's a big difference between my old call center, where you basically were verbally abused every single day and you just had to deal with it, to where I'm at now and the team that I'm with now, where the supervisors do not put up with that in any capacity. They will take the call. You are not penalized for anything. It is such a different environment, and I'm realizing that I have some PTSD from my last job. Like it is still very much affecting things almost a year later, but that's because my last job I was at for over a decade. So it is taking some serious time to get used to, actually being a human instead of a number. There's a lot of flexibility. So like if we need an appointment, or if Cora needs an appointment, or things happen, I have that flexibility to actually be a person and be a mom. And it's been really good for the mental health. Now the physical health is a whole different animal. In the summer, so like I had planned on coming back between January and March, and just, life not adjusting and not understanding and not doing the things, learning how to adjust to a major life change, took time. So it was one of those things that I just kind of put off. I also wasn't really feeling creative. I have a few things that are banked that needs edited that I've been working on. You might have seen it on my Instagram, things like that. Also, I have notes about it so I don't forget anything, because the ADHD brain thing, fatigue, and just getting off of work, gotta have the notes of what's going on. So if you see me looking this way, it's because there's notes. But I lacked creativity. And then whenever I finally started to feel better, I started to realize that something was maybe wrong. So in the summer, I found out I had a double ear infection and an upper respiratory infection. And basically since then, we have found a roller coaster of health issues. A lot of the things that I just chalked up to being anxiety, actually an issue with my heart and blood pressure and things like that. So we've been monitoring that and getting that sorted out. But I'm currently at home because I work in an underground mine, is where my agency is. So I'm not allowed to do that due to it causing adverse issues to my health. So I've been at home, which has been nice. Especially, today's the kiddo's birthday. So like we get to go and do stuff immediately after work, because I get to work from home and can be at work the first thing in the morning instead of having to worry about driving and making sure that he's up and things like that. So it's nice. But I've been dealing with a lot of health issues. And, it's kind of scary when you're not even in your 40s and you're realizing you have a lot of health issues. And as a single parent, it's one of those things of, I make sure my kid does everything. Like he goes to all of his doctors, all of his dentist appointments, all of his eye doctor's appointments. His health is always taken care of, but I always put myself on the back burner, except for my therapy. As a bipolar girly, you have to take care of your mental health. And a lot of that has been setting boundaries this past year. So like, I'm really proud of myself and all of the stuff that I've done in the past year, in my personal life and making those kinds of adjustments and things like that. But it's a struggle. Learning how to do all of those things is a struggle. So it's weird whenever you actually are in a healthy spot, but then like I'm used to struggling mental health wise. I'm used to not feeling myself. I'm used to dealing with big moods and big swings and debilitating anxiety where I feel like I can't breathe. Now I'm realizing, hey, maybe that I can't breathe feeling, or the racing, the heart racing, not actually because of my mental health stuff, but my physical health. And it's weird being in that state. So we're doing better. We're into September. We're into my favorite time of the year. I love fall. this will probably be one of my go-to outfits. This is by Comfort. I have a link affiliate thing somewhere if anybody's interested in it so that you can get some kind of discount. I don't know how it works, but I'm a big believer in the brand and I tell everybody about it because it is a slightly weighted hoodie. I do actually have the weighted hoodie now. Because I got it whenever my anxiety was really bad. But it's slightly weighted. They're super comfortable. They look put together. I have probably 5 different sets of this brand, but they support mental health. Like their biggest thing is mental health. So that's one of the big things for me is supporting a brand that supports mental health, and especially being a bipolar girly. And there's a lot of stigma with that. Like it's one of those things where a lot of people ask you things that they have no being asked. So I like dealing with a company. Also, it looks super cute and it's super comfy and it is what it is. So that is the gist of where I have been over the last year. I'm sure you guys would like to know some cool things that are coming up though, because like I said, I do have content banked. It's in the editing stages and things like that. So a few things that have been in the works in my brain. I am bringing a new thing to my channel. It's something from my TikTok. So this is going to be long form content of, it is Roll for Reads. I created Roll for Reads. I don't know this specific iteration. It is a version of Roll for Sandwich. So basically, as a D&D nerd and person that has upcoming campaigns over on Quest Junkies, you'll get to see me. We've been doing some really cool stuff over there, but there's a few projects that I've been in and upcoming projects that are coming out soon, so that'll be fun. But I've been doing that. So in homage to the 2 great things that give me joy, we have Roll for Reads. Roll for Reads is you take a D20. I have a grid that tells me what the numbers stand for, and I roll the books. That's going to be a monthly thing on my channel. So a new series. Is that the word I'm looking for? Probably. I don't know, dude. We're reaching the end of the tank here for remembering what I have going on. So Roll for Reads is coming. Second thing is I did a project with my bestie, Emily. You can find her all over social medias. Emily Rex is her author name. She has a new book coming out very soon. I'm very excited for it. But we did something as a project because we're both readers. She's a writer. She's glorious. I love her. Go check her content. But we traded TBRs. And I have all of the clips for that video. I just never edited it because, creative things died. It's not like I haven't been reading. I've read over 100 books. If you want to check my story graph to see what all I've been reading this past year, cool. I think I'm at 113 books so far for the year. So there's that. But yeah. In the short of it, I do plan and hope to be fully back coming 2026. I do have plans for the rest of the year, but it's gonna be slow. It's gonna be maybe 1 or 2 videos a month, but I'm still here. I want to make sure that I'm getting content that you guys are interested in, whether that's vlogs, whether that is sit down reviews, Roll for Reads, different things. I'm also seriously trying to read down my physical TBR, which I think 90% of YouTube is trying to do at this point. As far as booktubers go, we're all trying to make progress, and my list is astronomical. And yeah, so it's been fun. That might be something in the new year, is like actually doing like a TBR takedown or something of that nature, but we'll see. Cora's napping, or I would show you my little sleepy baby. She's on the couch. But yeah, so that's me. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm sorry I decided to take a year off basically, but it was really necessary. I really needed to recalibrate and kind of get my feet back under me. So I hope you're still here, book nerds. If you are, do the normal YouTube things like subscribe, comment, tell me what you've been reading over the year. What's your favorite book of 2025 so far? anything good that you've been reading, any series you're interested in. I love talking to you guys. I love yapping about books. So, hi, I'm back. And on that note, we'll see you guys in the near future. Toodles, book nerds. I have better lighting right here, so we're gonna leave the lighting as is and hopefully not break my chair.